Hi guys, welcome back to the Astrology. Today we are going to be doing the May monthly reading for the sign of Aquarius. And you can watch this video both from an Aquarius rising as well as Aquarius moon sign perspective. I understand guys there is a significant delay and I apologize for that because I had recorded all the zodiac signs. Unfortunately, there was some issue with my system, with my software per se, and I have to reshoot all these videos. There was some glitch during the editing and I was losing the entire audio. Now, without further ado, we are going to jump into this video. What you can anticipate is that there are going to be three key transits that are going to be coming into play in the month of May, which means that one, Jupiter transit happening on 14th of May. We've already done a detailed video on that. If you've not had a chance, go ahead and check that out. It was released last week. It'll give you good insights as to what you can anticipate for the next 4-5 months. Then we are also going to be touching upon Rahu and Ketu's transit into Aquarius and Leo sign respectively, very briefly in this video, but we are going to be doing a detailed video of that as well. However, through this video, you will get an oversight of all the yogas coming into play and as to how the transits will be impacting you, Aquarius, through the course of the month. Without further ado, let's jump into some of the important dates and understand what's happening there. As you can see on your screen here, Sun is going to be in the sign of Aries itself until May 13th. And then for the second half of the month, he would be transiting into the sign of Taurus from May 14th onwards. Then you have Pisces, who's come out of his sign of debilitation. Mercury is in the sign of Pisces and it has come out of sign of debilitation. And it is moving into Aries from May 6th onwards. So effectively in this video as well, you will see it depicted in the Aries box itself. Venus continues in its sign of exaltation in Pisces, and that is going to be an important bit for you guys to note. He is going to be transiting into the sign of Aries from May 31st. But quite effectively for the rest of the entire month of May, you are going to still see an exalted Venus in your chart for the last bit this year. Then Mars is in Cancer in its sign of debilitation since April, and it is going to continue in this state for the rest of the month. It is actually transiting in June 6th in moving into the sign of Leo. Then you have Jupiter, which is in Mrigashira Nakshatra in Taurus. It has been there since April 10th and it is going to be moving into Gemini from May 14th. Again, this is where I was alluding to that we've done a detailed video of Jupiter's transit into the sign of Gemini. I think it's going to be a very important video that you please check out to understand what this could mean for you. Then Saturn is in Pisces in Uttara and it has moved into its own nakshatra itself since April 27. So that's a positive movement coming into the sign of Pisces. Rahu is in Pisces in Purva nakshatra of Jupiter and it's going to be transiting true transit into the sign of Aquarius within the same nakshatra from May 29th onwards. And last but not the least, folks, Ketu is in Virgo in nakshatra of Surya of Sun, and it is going to be moving into the sign of Leo within the same nakshatra on May 29th. So those are the key transits that are going to be coming into play. Keeping these dates in mind, we are now going to deep dive to understand what is going to happen in the month of May for you guys. Now guys, as you can see, your Lagna Lord, which is Saturn, he is placed in the second house. He happens to be the Lord of your 12th house as well. And he is in conjunction with Venus as well as with Rahu. Now, first and foremost, I would want you to understand that we've done a detailed video on Saturn transit as well. But in this monthly reading, we are talking about the conjunctions, combinations coming into play. And Saturn's placement with Venus and Rahu in your second house is going to magnify the amount of time, energy, effort you have to put in, folks, for your family. You will have to make some spendings. You will have to put in some money, effort, time, energy to keep them happy. And happiness is going to be around because Venus is sitting in exaltation. He is the Lord of your 4th house, sitting 11 places away in exaltation. And he's also happened to be the Lord of your 9th house. So destiny, fortune, fate is sitting exalted for you in your second house and also being the Lord of mental peace, emotions, happiness. So it's a positive thing, but it will require you to put in some amount of effort, to put in some amount of energy around doing the right things that bring that happiness, that satisfaction in and around your vicinity. And you will not be shying away from that, but please be prepared for making in some expenses to do that as well. To make sure that you derive, you make the money, you make the spiritual knowledge of yours do the talking. That investment is going to bring in satisfaction. It is also possible that there could be some change of guard in terms of you expanding your assets. You could be purchasing a new property, you could be buying something, but there will be some level of turbulence that will come in that space because Saturn is giving a third aspect into the fourth house as well. It is the fruits of any planets, of the effort that you see into the third house with the third aspect. And Saturn has got that. Saturn is the lord of karma. So he tends to do that. And who better than you guys or Capricorns maybe to understand this bit, Aquarius? So now, whilst Saturn is sitting in Pisces, he is going to bring tad bit of challenges. Whilst there is all this happiness around, maybe some auspicious event, some grand event, ceremony that you guys might be planning to organize during the month of May as well at your home. It could be something either just for yourself or your family members where you conduct this activity at scale. You invite people, good food, good gathering, which might come into play. But at the same time, your mind will have some sort of botheration. Peace will be hampered to some extent because you will be clouded with this thought process as to how do you address, let's say, any matters related to your any matters related to your property, any matters related to your peace in generally. Unexpected problems are still anticipated during this period, and they are unexpected, so I cannot tell you what they would be. And then the Saturn is going to be giving an aspect into the sign of Sagittarius in your 11th house as well. There will be some shift, some delay in terms of your gains, in terms of you closing out on whatever you've been aspiring for. But fear not, Jupiter is going to come and fix it. We've done a detailed video on Jupiter as well, just like we've created one for Saturn, where we've talked at length about it. But as I move further, I want to draw your attention to the fact that you have Rahu and Ketu in your 2nd and 8th axis as well. And I keep repeating this, that for Taurus and Scorpios, for Leo and Aquarius, Rahu and Ketu are coming in the 1-7 and the 4-10 axis. And for all these people, for all these signs, there is going to be some dramatic shift, some dramatic achievement which is going to come into play. Now, I will be making a detailed video around this. I will be talking at length as to what this transit can impact or how it can impact you. But I want you to remember that the transit is going to happen. The true transit is going to happen on 29th of May. Until then, you still have this Rahu almost at the cusp, inching towards his own sign, and he is still with Saturn and Venus, whilst Ketu is sitting in your 8th. So your interest in terms of deep diving and figuring out some new subjects, this is the last month for you to learn new subjects, learn new areas, do a double click of that occult. I can already see many of the Aquarius reaching out to me for consultations before this period is shifting. Why? And so many of you have reached. Why? Because this is what this Ketu has been doing. He's triggering those events and asking at one last time before I get into the 7th. And it will be very interesting to see what happens once Ketu enters the 7th and Rahu comes into the 1st, bringing his magnanimity and illusion into the 1st house itself for you guys, whether you are watching it from Aquarius moon or from an Aquarius rising perspective. So keep that in mind. Now, of course, from an Aquarius moon perspective, I want to call out that this is the last phase of your Sadhisati, and hopefully some of the biggest pain points that you've been facing in your life in this last phase are going to come to an end. You have now your Venus sitting for the last month in exaltation in the 2nd house itself. What a beauty when the 4th Lord is moving into the 2nd house in exaltation 11 places away. And that is where I cannot emphasize enough and tell you that the possibility of you doing something big for your family, with your family, is heightened during this period. Venus is going to bring that level of luxury, that level of satisfaction, and it will already have some sort of a pull, because Venus is the lord of your 9th house. So it will almost get pulled into your life. See, he's a Yoga Karaka planet. Venus is a Yoga Karaka planet for Aquarius people because he owns your 4th as well as your 9th house. He has a trine and a square under his rulership. So it's an important planet for that matter. And his placement is like a Dhan Yoga, Raj Yoga for you in the second house. Thereby, Aquarius, this is going to be a time of extreme importance where you leave no stone unturned to materialize any kind of gains, to derive any kind of success. The people who reached out to me, Aquarius, I think that person was Aquarius Moon, and she said that, Dave, if the time is so amazing, why is it not happening? Why is it that I have to work towards something? Two things you have to keep in mind. Guys, I give you a transit reading. Okay? You have to check in your natal dasha as well to derive more constructs. Just to let you know, I was just sitting yesterday afternoon and looking into my own chart and figuring out, because I'm expecting now new dasha changes coming into play in the next 1.5 months. And I know that I have to prepare myself in a certain way. I do take into account the transitory movements as well, but natal becomes top priority. And that is what I offer during my consultations. So you have to understand that is the first bit of it. The second bit is that whatever these charts are saying or whatever these planetary movements are doing, if we are not aligned in that direction with our own karma, with our own effort, third house is bang opposite to the ninth, then nothing will materialize. You will have a delicious food on a platter spread on a plate for you. But if you do not have the intent to pick up and consume that, how do you anticipate somebody would come and feed it for you? Sometimes, yes, your friends, your loving spouse might just out of curiosity and happiness, hey, have one bite from my hands, but not that they are going to sit and feed you. So you have to understand that bit. And it is very important for you to meticulously use these kind of opportunities. And that is why Aquarius, it's a good period. Please utilize it. Now, as I move further, I see Sun is sitting in exaltation in your third house itself in conjunction with Mercury, who has come out of debilitation. Sun happens to be the lord of your seventh house in exaltation. And thereby I see, Aquarius, that for you guys, your marital relationship, your marital bliss, your formal partnerships, your workplace related partnerships are going to see an expansion, positivity. You would be commanding respect during this point in time. And it is almost like automatically, maybe for your principles, for the way you act, for the way you behave. It is a ninth movement which is coming into your third house. Yet, you will have to continue to work. You will have to continue to put in effort to make your relationship sweeter, to make that alignment with your partners, with your business partners, more strong, deepen the ties, as they say. And especially from a professional setup, it is going to be extremely important because Sun later in the second half of this month will be transiting into your fourth house. It is 10 places away and it will be aspecting your 10th house as well. Ego has to be curbed. You have to keep your ego at check, at bay during this phase. You'll have to be extremely meticulous in terms of communicating in the right way, especially in a formal setup. Why do I say that? See, Mercury is in the third house, but in the sign of Aries. He's in the inimical sign. He's come out of debilitation. He's in a good house because he's in the Kalpurus chart ruling that house itself. So unlike many others, Aquarius, for you folks, Mercury seems to be doing much better, even in the sign of Aries. Yet, from a formal communication perspective, it is going to be extremely important for you to be watchful. He is the ruler of your fifth house and your eighth house sitting in the third. Wrong choice of words can be turbulent in your relationships. It can be turbulent at your school, college, education. Any kind of hastiness, it is in the sign of Aries. Any kind of rushed attitude can be detrimental for your investment strategies. You have to stay calm. You have to be composed. But you have to understand this one thing, that people who are looking forward to get into relationships, you will bring some level of witty behavior, some sharp attitude to create that excitement, that likeliness with the people that you're looking forward to date in your love affairs, in your relationships. That's a positive sign. You can be very good if you take your decision at peace. You can be very good in terms of your investment strategies as well during this month. I think the markets are giving enough indicators to buy on the pull downs. I should strategize around that to myself. But the point I'm trying to make is you must think in that direction as well. And then Mercury from here is giving an aspect back to the ninth house as well. So he is going to inculcate, in fact, he and Sun both are going to inculcate some sort of long distance travel, some sort of a religious thought process. But please be watchful with your communication, or it can create turbulence with your bosses, with your superiors at work. Just be watchful in that front, Aquarius. You could have some sort of a disagreement with your father as well. That is also a probability during this period. But especially in the second half, I think things are going to dramatically improve once Sun also comes into the fourth house itself. Right? Now, as I move further, you have Jupiter, who's been placed in a Parivartan Yoga in your fourth house. That was a good placement, and he is now moving into the fifth house, into the sign of Gemini. We've done a detailed video, guys. Please go ahead and check that. But very quickly speaking, this Jupiter is going to be placed in the fifth. It is going to bring a rush of creativity, thought process, imagination in you. People who are associated with creative job fields are going to do spectacularly well during this period. It's giving an aspect your 9th house, 11th house, and your Lagna. I think your overall piousness, because the 9th aspect is coming into the Lagna, your overall piousness, benediction in your life, that happiness factor, abundance is going to increase, Aquarius. That's the beauty. And what if you're watching this from an Aquarius moon perspective? I know you're in the last phase of Sadasati, and then this benediction, beautiful surprise coming in from Jupiter in this Atichari movement. It is going to be so calming and soothing for you guys. But watch the detailed video and it'll give you a lot more clarity. Now, last but not the least, Mars, which happens to be the lord of your third house where Mercury and Sun are placed, and will be moving out of it, but also the lord of your 10th house is placed in debilitation 9 places away into the 6th house. There will be challenges at your workplace. There will be commotion. There will be a lot of hard work that will be expected, anticipated out of you. But at the same time, guys, you've got all solutions in your own palm. You've got it on your fingertips. You exactly know how to come out of those situations as long as you are keeping your emotions in check. You are keeping wrong choice of words at bay, and you're not filled with lethargy. Mars is 4 places away from its house of hard work. And if you think from that perspective, you will realize that this Mars is going to give you the ability to bring certain level of discipline, schedule in your day-to-day activities. Any kinds of loans, litigations that you've been struggling with, you will be able to pull yourself out of it. You will do extremely well, tackle unexpected situations. And why do I say that? Because Mars aspect to the 12th house is an exalted one. With your sheer hard work, with your daily schedule and regimen, knowingly and unknowingly, you will be tackling problems that could have otherwise emerged. That's the beauty of this bit. So don't be slack. Don't drop the ball. You might feel lazy at times. He's the third lord. You might feel lazy at times. And guys, through the course of the month of May, like I'm telling for Capricorns, you have to fight your way through it. Aquarius, you have to push your way through it. You have to get up on time. You have to prepare a timetable and run with that schedule, and you will see the outcomes coming in for you. Yes, there could be some temper issues. Of course, Mars is giving an aspect to your ascendant as well, but keep a check on that. And when I say temper issues, these temper issues could very be evident from interaction with your bosses, superiors, leadership, guru, teacher, father, any one of those, even your spouse for that matter to a certain extent. So please keep a check on those aspects. But outside of that, I see some fabulous period ahead for you guys, Aquarius. I think this is going to be a defining time from your work perspective, profession perspective. Health is going to be on check. You will have minor niggles, but you will come out of it. Don't worry. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed this reading. If you have, then smash on that like button, subscribe to Dave Astrology, and keep watching.